Well, it's 8 o'clock Friday morning and I have done no modelling since Sunday. Hello, welcome to Model Kit Stuff and welcome to this week's Table Talk. My name is Jason, and if you're one of the new subscribers to this channel, a massive welcome. I'm sure you're going to find something that'll be of interest. There's lots of stuff on the channel. Go and check out my homepage. I've got playlists set up and you can find all sorts of stuff there, from first impression kit reviews to builds to tool reviews, quick tips, beginners bits and pieces, all sorts of stuff. And if you're one of my long-term subscribers, welcome back. You know what's about to happen, and I hope you enjoy the show. So yes, I have done no modelling since Sunday, but don't worry, it's all planned. There's nothing gone wrong. I've been on holiday this week. I've taken my last week of annual leave for this year. I've got one day left to take, so I'll have a long weekend somewhere. And I've been away, just my partner and me, no kids. So yeah, we had a great time. So we went away on Monday and then we came back last night for Thursday evening. We got sort of back for tea time. So we've been in Banbury. We've been staying in Banbury. Hadn't really gone to visit Banbury particularly. It's just where the hotel was based. And it was a great base for what we wanted to do. So we're National Trust members, and there's a few National Trust properties around there, all sort of within 25 minutes to 50 minutes away from each other. So we thought we'd just go and blitz a load of properties we'd never done. So we've been doing some history, we've been doing some walking around parks and estates and gardens. It's always interesting to see how they're maintaining and keeping gardens running at this time of year and what's in there. So lots of sort of autumn vegetables, but still some autumn colour about, which was good and interesting, gives you some ideas. So that was nice. So yeah, we've had a nice few days out at around the Banbury neck of the woods, and did some really interesting finds around there. So yeah, had a great few days. I'm hoping that we'll get some modelling done today, but I do have quite a lot of jobs to do around the house, and that's sort of what this weekend's looking like. But we should get at least our usual modelling in. That's not to say that I've got nothing to show you. As you can see, we've got 4 different models to talk about, but we'll get to that in a minute. Right. If you have not seen a Table Talk video before, then what we do is we talk about what happened in the week that's just gone, what's coming up in the week ahead, what's been happening on the model desk, any sort of news, what's going on with the family, and we'll talk about preparing for Telford, for example, all sorts of stuff. If you want to know what's coming up, what the plan is, what the bigger picture is, what we might be doing in a couple of months' time, this is the video to watch, because this keeps you up to date with everything that's going on, sort of behind the scenes of the videos. So also, if you're new to the channel, I put out set types of videos on set days. So Monday is a fairly random day, could be anything from tool review, product review, book review. We've done some of those recently. All sorts of little bits and pieces, my quick tips. You never know what's going to come up on a Monday. Well, I tell you in this video, but relatively you don't. Wednesday at this moment in time is still first impressions. I've still got some to do. We will definitely see the year out with first impressions, which is pretty good going when you consider that earlier this year I was thinking about June, July time we might be running out of material. And we'll talk a little bit more about that later, my thoughts on how we keep first impressions running a bit longer into next year. And then On a Friday, we always have a build video. It goes out 9 p.m. My time, UK time, and then that is a premiere. So there's live chat and lots of subscribers from the channel come along and have a chat amongst themselves. Sort of watch the video, I suspect, whilst having a chat, and it's a nice little hangout. And that's sort of my 3 standard videos. You do sometimes get additional videos. So right now, if I'm doing an update on the GMC truck, for example, that'll tend to be on a Thursday. In a couple of weeks' time, when we've done Telford, we'll perhaps have on a Sunday the Telford video. So again, this is where I explain what's coming up, and it helps make sure you've not missed anything. So that's what we do on the video. Now, the channel is self-supporting, which means the money that we generate on YouTube is what pays to run the channel, what we put on the channel, what we review, the products, the kits, and so on. Now, what I've been saying up until today, we're going to change it slightly, is there's different ways you can support the channel, from watching the video and clicking the like to making a financial contribution through Super Thanks or Super Chat. You can also buy merchandise in the merch shop if you want, and all of those things contribute to the channel. But all of those financial things, whether it's merchandise or whether it is Super Thanks, they all, I get a cut, I get a percentage. And someone asked the question last week, how do I ensure you get all of the money and YouTube doesn't get a cut? Which is a good question. I've not thought about it, because on a Super Thanks, for example, I get 60% and YouTube gets 40%. So you thank me, I give you a tip or something, and you think, so let's take, for example, one that's regularly coming up is how to separate parts that you've just glued. I get a lot of thanks on that, and if you wanted to give me a super thanks for that and donate a couple of pounds to the channel as a thank you, I would get 60% of it. I wouldn't get the full 2. So someone asked the question, is there a way I can get 100% of it? And the answer is yes. I have a PayPal account, so you can pay into me at PayPal, and I will put up in a moment the PayPal address about there. I think I'll put it there. So there you go. If you want to support the channel and donate to the channel, that's what you do. I don't do membership. I don't do buy me a coffee. I don't do Patreon, because I don't have time to do anything extra for those people that want to do that. So I keep the channel free for everyone, and those that can afford to support and wish to can do. And it means you don't have to give something every week. You can give something when you fancy. And if you do it through PayPal, I get 100%. Right now, what we're doing is any money donated to the channel, not coming to me through advert revenue, is going to, or through merchandise revenue, is going into a pot that I'm going to take to Telford. And when I start my Telford video, when you see the Telford video, I will announce how much I've got to spend. I don't want to do it before then, because I have Super Thanks coming in through the week and at all sorts of different times. So what I want to be able to do is on the video go, hi, we're at Telford and this is how much I've got to spend. And that will be on kit or kits that we'll then bring back to the channel. So my challenge at Telford will be, what can I get that I really fancy, something that may be different or catches my eye within the budget that you guys have set me. So I've had some lovely contributions this week, and towards the end of the video we'll give you a shout out. So if you do contribute to the channel, I will give you a shout out in Table Talk on a Saturday. Right, now we've got all that out of the way, let's talk about what happened last week. We kicked off Monday. So we kicked off the week on Monday with another book review, this time the Airfix 1:24 scale Spitfire how to build guide. So very similar to the Buccaneer one that we did recently, but just focused on the Spitfire. A bit less content in the book than the Buccaneer, because it's just dealing with building one kit rather than the two in the Buccaneer. and focused a bit more on the history of the Spitfire rather than the history of Spitfire kits. Can you imagine how big it'd be if they did the history of Spitfire model kits? I mean, that'd be a double volume in its own right. There is so many Spitfire kits been on the market over the years. So yeah, good book. If you've watched it and you were thinking of buying it, great. What I'd say is just go back and have a look at the comments, because a good friend of the channel, Nigel from Nigel's Modelling Bench, who has used the book when he was building his 124 Spitfire. I seem to remember he got the book partway through his build when it first came out. He left a couple of comments on things that he thought were observations that needed to be pointed out. So it's worth going to catch those up. Things that I didn't notice when I was just skimming through the book and talking about what the content is. So it's worth going back and just reading those comments. So there's a little chain of comments in there. So that was how we kicked off Monday. Wednesday, we did the first impressions of Trumpeter's HMS Westminster kit, which actually was a really nice kit. Because when I did the Daring, I wasn't so impressed with Daring. Now, I've not done a first impressions of Daring on the channel. I built it before I had a channel. And in fact, I abandoned the build partway through because I got the Airfix D-Class Destroyer kit, and it was just infinitely so much more better than the Trumpeter one. And that's the really frustrating thing right now. Airfix are not doing anything with ships. They're focused on other things. I don't know whether they're going to come back to kits, although I have a glimmer of hope, and we'll talk about that in a second. But when they do their ship kits, they are better than Trumpeters. They are more accurate. You get better decals. You end up with a much better looking kit. Now, there's no such thing as a perfect kit. There are some things that Trumpeter do better than Airfix, but from a dimensional accuracy and detail accuracy, Airfix always steal the march. So the Trumpeter D-Class Destroyer is dimensionally wrong, hull's wrong, shapes are wrong, whereas the Airfix one is perfectly accurate. Paint scheme on the Trumpeter wrong, paint scheme on the Airfix one is great. So if you go back in my builds, you'll see me finishing off the Airfix D-Class Destroyer. It was one of the first builds we did on the channel, or I'd already started it before the start of the channel. And you can see that come together, and there is some commentary on the Trumpeter one. But the Westminster, without having checked dimensional accuracy, seems really good, nicely detailed, and come across really well. I'm told that White Ensign Models does a photo etch set, which then covers off the railings, which was my sort of gripe that they were missing. So I hadn't looked around at PE for it, but it doesn't surprise me. And White Ensign Models does a good photo etch. Obviously, it's Tom's Model Works now. It's no longer done by Peter Hall of Atlantic Models. So I'll always go to Atlantic Models first and check whether they've got something before I cast anywhere else. And with it being a modern ship, it might be that Atlantic has something, but I've not checked. So yeah, so I said there was a glimmer of hope with Airfix and their model ships. So I was in a video, I can't remember whose it was. I think it was Moz, and Moz had the researcher and a designer of the Ferret sort of doing a little interview. And they were also answering some of the questions in the chat. And I asked the question, why have you not done a new tool, HMS Victory? It's been pretty much on catalogue ever since it came out, so it's clearly a good seller. You keep doing retools of Beauforts and Spitfires, but not Victory. Why not? It's an iconic kit, and we've talked about it. We've done a first impressions of a 70s version one, and he basically said it's on the list. He basically said, we've got a long list of stuff we want to revisit. We're working through it. We can't do everything at once. So there's hope for us yet. I know I go back to 18 months ago and they asked, should we do 350 ships? And there was quite a lot of people saying, yes, you should. And whenever I've got the ear of Airfix through chat or whatever, I'm always banging on about them doing an HMS Warrior because there isn't a plastic kit of it, have never been done. It's at the Portsmouth Historic Dockyard. It's the first ship you see when you get in there. It's Queen Victoria's HMS Hood in reality. Gets thousands of visitors every year. There's a gift shop there. They just need to have a model kit they can put in the gift shop. They'll sell thousands of it. It would be another HMS Victory, always on catalogue. I guarantee it. So Airfix, if you're listening, and I know you're probably not, HMS Warrior, do it. And the unretooled HMS Victory. Anyway, going off on a bit of a tangent. We don't want this to be a rant video. So, anyway, that was Monday, Wednesday done. Friday comes along and we did part 4 of the Ferret. It's really surprised me how many sections we've got through with Ferret. I think there's just one more. I think Ferret 5 is the last one. But I don't want to rush it and cut too much out and condense it. I'm very much with the Ferret trying to show you every step of the way without boring you to death watching me sanding and filing parts. So I personally think the Ferret videos, build videos, have come together really well. And that's partly because it's quite a straightforward build out of the box. You know, it's not got complexity. It's not got lots of monotony like some builds can do. When they're larger, you've got lots of repetition. So you know, there's only so many tank tracks you can watch someone build, for example. So it's coming together and being quite a nice build in the end, the Ferret. And, you know, as you guys know, I finished it some time ago now. So that's sort of what happened. So let's talk about what modelling I did get done since I last spoke to you. Well, we did some stuff on the Queen Mary 2. So I said I wanted to blitz the Queen Mary 2. We started that last weekend before we went away, and we're going to carry on doing that this weekend. Doesn't mean I'm exclusively doing Queen Mary 2, but we started doing photo etch on this back end here. I'm not going to pick her up, but we did all the railings around here, so they're all glued on, just waiting to be painted. I've used the Gold Medal Models railings in the main because I think they are behaving better than the Pontos ones that came with the kit. We put the railing on the back here, which Stephen has explained why they're on there. It's all to do with getting rid of airflow from the smokestack there, and all the little cameras on there. So yeah, what we're working on at the moment is getting all the railings on. There's some glass screens that come along here. That's probably the next thing we're going to tackle. I've still got to put decals on some of these larger lifeboats. Had a bit of a mishap. Someone opened a door into it. Yeah, and it's managed to break off the top of one of my lifeboats. So I've got to do a little repair. Fortunately, because the lifeboats overhang a little bit, came into contact with the lifeboat and not the actual model, its main model itself. So all good. So yeah, so we did that. We didn't do anything else with the bow fighter as such, but she's built up now. So I'll be doing some more of this weekend. So if I get a chance on Saturday, we'll do some more of this, and we might do some more of this Friday evening. So that's tonight, tomorrow for you, yesterday for you, tomorrow, what am I on about? And we have got the GMC truck gun done, so that is finished. Looks quite nice, got all the photo etch on there. So next step on there is wheels, ammunition boxes, and fuel cans, and then we're painting up. But I might try and get that painted up Saturday morning so the primer can harden whilst we're doing photo etch. And we finished the Gopher. So we had the propellers to do on the Gota, and as those of you following the build will possibly know, we have a small issue with the rigging. So I'm waiting for some. When we put the fuselage in, it's changed the. Some of the rigging has slackened off because it's changed the position of the wings, which I wasn't anticipating, hadn't thought about. So my error, because I'd rigged before the fuselage went in. So I'm waiting for some more bits and pieces so I can complete that. But as far as you guys concerned in the build, it's done. Propellers are on. Stunning, isn't it? Absolutely, absolutely love it. So that, after this video, is going on display and job done. And I've finished with the Gota. My first wingnut wings done. Glad to say it won't be my last. Not sure when I'll get to the next one. We'll have a bit of a break. I want to try and get some smaller stuff done. So let's talk about what's coming up in the pipeline. For those of you who may not know, after Queen Mary 2, or actually on the 26th of December, we'll be launching the Scharnhorst build. So did put a little trailer out announcing that. So both myself and Nigel, because we're doing it as a buddy build, Nigel from Nigel's Modelling Bench, we'll be chucking out our Scharnhorst videos launching on that day. So yeah, that will be the plan. So that will be my build introduction video going out on that date. So the build introduction will feature myself talking about the build, how we're going to tackle it, paint systems, all that sort of stuff. And I've not filmed it yet, so I don't know, but we might talk about hull modifications and that sort of stuff as well, and the aftermarket we've got, and so on. And there'll also be an introduction from naval architect and historian Stephen Payne, designer of the Queen Mary 2, who will be talking about Scharnhorst from a design context, and that'll all be in the introduction video. It won't be, my Scharnhorst build will not be like the Queen Mary 2 build. We're not going to have commentary from Stephen. I know a couple of people have asked. We get commentary from Stephen on this because it's his ship. He designed it. It's his baby. And, you know, it's a huge achievement. So he's the most qualified person there is to talk about it. So, yeah, that's why he does that. He has a great design perspective on a lot of ships from naval history. So from time to time, when we're doing a build, I will invite him to give us a little bit of commentary. So that's up to him. But obviously, when we're doing cruise liners and that sort of stuff, ocean liners, I should say, sorry, he's all over that subject, so he's very interested to talk about that, and he will be helping me with some builds in the future. I've got some ocean liner builds in my mind for the future, but nothing that's currently in the pipeline. So after Scharnhorst, don't know, because Scharnhorst, I'm anticipating a couple of years to build, depending on whether we pause it or not. The GMC is very much an extra build. Realistically, right now, my 2 live builds are these, but I've actually got 3. So the GMC truck, when it's finished, doesn't get replaced by anything else. It's an additional build that I'm squeezing in when I can because it's a tribute build. And we're building it in quite a simple format. We'll paint it up, put the decals on, and then it will be done as simple as that. Well, this is my secondary build, so principal secondary is how I think about it. And when this is done, we're going to jump onto the Matchbox build, which will just be painting. And then when that's done, we're jumping onto the Minicraft Tempo, because I want to do some small builds. And then probably we'll do another aircraft. And at this stage, I don't know what that's going to be, although I'm thinking possibly the 148 Airfix Hunter. I haven't done a jet aircraft in ages. I've got another buddy build set up with Jeff Donahue, which will be a truck, but we'll have just done a truck. It's very similar to that, so I'm going to want to pause that and stretch that out a bit. And both Jeff and I have got to be in the right place to start it. Usually in February, I do I do the small car build. Don't know if I'm going to do that this year or not. We'll see where we're up to. And in March last year, we did a commercial vehicle build, and I've got an idea for a build for next year that's sort of the same but sort of different, and we'll talk about that nearer the time. So as we get towards Christmas and the end of the year, lots and lots of different things get thrown in the mix. So we're going to be doing, again, a subscriber special. So if you weren't a subscriber to the channel last year, what we did, I can't remember, but it was around the Christmas, New Year holidays, is we put out a video where subscribers of the channel shared their builds with me. So they sent me photographs of their builds. I cobbled it all together as a video, so your name went up with your builds, and you could share that for everyone. So these are names that you see, people that comment, people that you talk to on the premiere videos, and you get to share their work. And there was some lovely, stunning work last year, and I want to do it again. It was a great success, really. So and I'm sure we'll get a few more this year, having some people seen the format. So we will be putting it out. I'll be in November putting out the official announcement with the instructions on how to get stuff to me, and then I can start building that together, ready for December. So we'll have that coming up. We've got the Telford show coming up, so we'll do something extra on that. I will be filming there. So those of you that can't get to the UK or can't get to Telford can have a good nosy at what's there. I've also got, over the year, I've collected things that have hit the cutting room floor and you've never seen, and I'm going to cobble that together. It depends on how much I've got. It might be that I do it in a table talk, but I've got basically a gaff reel, things that didn't go so well, funny moments and that sort of stuff, you know, dropping models on the floor and that sort of thing. So all of that is coming up sort of in December, so I'm having to plan that. Right now, being on holiday, I did manage to get some video editing done in the hotel room in the morning before my partner's awake. I've been able to get some stuff done. So I'm about 5 weeks ahead on my Monday, Wednesday videos, and 2 weeks ahead on my main build videos that go out on a Friday. So I'm in a comfortable place as we get towards end of the year, and there's a bit more pressure to do some extra videos. What I'm a little bit behind on is my first impressions videos. So I've got some recording of non-build stuff to do. So I've got a little stash of kits behind my secret door that I showed you a few weeks ago, and I need to record those and get some more video material together so I can get editing. So lots to do always, and obviously as we get towards holiday season, we're doing more stuff. So Christmas shopping and that sort of thing will come into it. Kids need new clothes for the winter, that sort of stuff. So there's more things coming along, keeping us busy. So yeah, lots going on. So that is pretty much what's happened on last week and on the modelling bench. This weekend, focus is Queen Mary 2, getting that primed ready for painting and building up the wheels. So it depends on how much time I get on it. I believe there's an issue with the wheels and I need to sort that. And then also getting the Beaufighter to a point where we can start priming that as well. So that's sort of what we're working on in the week ahead, with a big push on the Queen Mary 2. And then next week, what's coming up? Right, so Monday's video is a tool review. So we'll be having a look at an Amati tool and talking to you about its uses, not just for wood modelling, but for plastic modelling as well, and especially of interest for people who build dioramas or do scratch building. So that's Monday. On Wednesday, we've got an aircraft review, Wingsy Kits, a Ukrainian company. and it's a Messerschmitt 109, really nice kit. And then Friday's video will be go to 15, which will not be the last go to video. I thought it might be, turned out it's not. I had enough material to go beyond that. So yeah, so go to 15 is not the last video, as I suspected it would be, so go to 16 will be. And that's the week ahead. Hopefully on the Thursday there will be a GMC update, but that will only happen if we've done wheels and done priming. If not, I'll wait until the following week when I've actually got something to put out and talk about. That's my week ahead. So in other news, I've done my planning now for the Telford show, and by that I mean I've got a little shopping list of things I want to buy. So products, tool cleaner. I'm trying to get some Tamiya airbrush cleaner, because several people are saying you can use it as glue. So I want to have a little play with that. So I've got a little shopping list of products that'll all get purchased from revenue from the adverts. I've got a list of little stores that I'd like to go and visit and just check out what they've got. So those are my must go to places. And then, of course, I'll have a pot of money from donations to spend on kits. So we'll be having a look at that. And then I do try and get around everything. Not everything's of interest to me. There are some people that specialise in scales, not that interesting to me, that, you know, scales I'm not interested in. But I do try and look at everything and see what's going on. So that's the plan. Telford plan is done. So there are some lovely people in the world, so let's mention them. It's a funny thing, whenever I switch the camera on and we're starting to record, that's when I have a coughing fit. Explain that to me. So, like I say, there are some really nice people in this hobby, in this world, and I find that the people in this hobby are always ready to help you. There's always one or two people who are the exceptions, but they prove the rule. And the rule is that most people are really nice, generous, helpful people. And I try and help people. I'm often getting questions from people who want tips or advice or just my thoughts on things, and I'm always willing to help. It does get a little bit more difficult to respond in a timely manner as it gets busier, but I do try. And I'm glad to say that I've picked up interest in another Meet the Creator. So in the process of setting that up. If you're watching this, I know I've not sent you the video as I promised, but as you've just heard, I am on holiday. So you will get that video, that email soon with how to do it. Okay, so these are the people that supported the channel last week. Massive thank you to all of you. So here we go. Art Yorkie, a massive thank you very much for your contribution. Charles Parker 995, a generous contribution. Thank you very much, sir. It's greatly appreciated. Going into the Telford pot, all of this. Michael 2Y905. Contribution, thank you very much. Again, it's going in the pot. Plastic Monkey, thank you, sir. Paul, regular contributor, it's greatly appreciated. And it's all going into what will be my budget for Telford. I don't know yet. James Carnahan, a massive thank you to you, sir. Very generous donation, and I am very very grateful. And then Dave, this is World War II scale models, relatively new channel. Please go and check him out. A large donation that is very gratefully received. My humble thanks for that. That will be going in the pot, and thank you very much, sir, and do go and check out his channel. I'll try and remember to put a link down to him. George 364, thank you very much, sir, for your contribution. Really helpful. Gave me a round figure And then Kent Barnes, who has donated a princely sum. Thank you very much, sir. So all of that goes into a pot. I won't know what the pot is until we get there, as I've said, but thank you very, very much, all of you, for supporting the channel. I love doing this in no short measure because of you guys. I love doing this primarily because of you guys. It's great to share what I'm doing. I'd be doing this anyway, but rather than just doing this and the only person who really knows about it is me, I get to share it. And I get lovely feedback from you guys, support, questions, advice. I get all sorts of stuff, and I love it all. And I love all the interaction, and I'm very grateful for everyone that supports the channel. So yeah, thank you very, very much. All money generated goes to the channel. It doesn't come to me personally. It all gets put into there. Into that pot, and I do put some of my money in occasionally. So if we're buying something that the channel certainly can't support, then I will fund that, but that has to come out of something additional from my weekly budget. So I've got to come into money in some way, birthdays, Christmas, whatever. So yeah, all funded. All of this is happening because of you guys, and a massive thank you to you. So what I'd say is, have a great week. You enjoy your modelling. I'm looking forward to meeting some of you guys at Telford, 2 p.m. Airfix stand. I have checked, they are going to be there. At the Airfix stand, wherever it is, I will be at the Airfix stand at 2 p.m. So there's an opportunity for a meet and a greet, say hello. I know a few of you have said you'd like to say hello. I'm looking forward to that. It's always nice to meet some of the people that comment on the channel and that I get to see. And don't forget, if you want to ensure that I get, or the channel gets 100% of that, you can go to the PayPal option that we mentioned earlier in the video. So thank you very much. Enjoy your week. Enjoy your modelling. Start thinking about what you want to share in the subscriber special. And until then, I will see you next week. Thank you very much. Bye for now.